Hi Aquarius, my sun sign brothers and sisters, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website addressed below. And before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So this week, for your key to the week, we have the Death card, right? So this is a week where we are going deep into the recesses of ourselves and our lives. There is a deep transformation that is taking place for you this week, Aquarius. This card is permeating the whole week, the whole energy, right? And whenever you see the Death card, yes, it's an end, yes, it's a transition, yes, it's transformation for sure. But it's also the transformative energy that comes from making the tough decisions, from making the hard choices, from really being able to accept that something in our lives has run its course. Something in our lives needs to come to a close. Now, whenever you see the Death card, it is a choice. It is a conscious decision that you can choose to make. And when it comes up for you like that, it is the way that you avoid any future issues or conflicts. It's kind of like, I'm sure you've all seen that meme like that says, you know, the real damage is done when you hold on to something that's trying to leave. This is the week where you could start to really understand where it is that you tie yourself to things consciously or unconsciously that are either no good for you or have run their course. This is a week where you really need to pay attention to what the depths of your heart and soul are telling you has run its course. What has come to an end? What is it time to let go of? Now, if you pay attention to that, not only do you free up space, energy, time and attention within yourself, but you also move into a space of alignment with the freedom that you desire. Whenever you allow the Death card to let something come to its natural winter, where it's, you know, supposed to come to an end and a completion, this is where you can see massive change and growth. You know, if you never cut the brush back come spring, nothing has a chance to grow. For your actions and options, you have the Queen of Pentacles, right? So as an action, this is about you really going through the garden of your life and starting to do some weeding, right? This is a week where you could very well be paying attention to what is coming up for you. It could be a week where you're saying to yourself, right, I want to change everything about myself. Now, when even though it's not in, you know, not in your sign, and actually the Venus retrograde is offering a trine energy to the sign of Aquarius because it's taking place in Gemini. Even still, this is probably not the best time for, you know, big radical changes to the image. You know, cutting all your long hair off and dyeing it blonde, probably not, because the chances are you'll be devastated when you get the result. Maybe getting tattoos, all of that sort of stuff is a big no-no right now. But with your Queen of Pentacles in your actions and options, this is going to give you an energy that really starts to say, right, I understand now what it is that I want to change about myself, and I really am starting to free up a lot of internal space so that I've got energy to put into these goals. They may very well look like physical health goals. They may look like, you know, financial or monetary goals. They may look like things to do with your work. This is about you really starting to understand what it is that you need to let go of, or what it is that's taken up too much time and energy. What is it that you have diverted too much time, too much attention to, that you can now start diverting back to yourself. This is going to be a week where you're doing what kind of doesn't necessarily come naturally, which is being a bit more self-centered or a bit more self-focused. Your Queen of Pentacles as well could see you really paying attention to all of your resources. This isn't just about your money and materials. This is about all of your finances. And also, it could be that this week you are connecting with an earth sign woman. This could be a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn. This could be somebody that really has, really helps you find a specific understanding within yourself about your life path, about the way that things are for you. So take that on board. For your communications and conversations, you have the Judgment card. This card is very popular at the moment. It's come up a lot for this week ahead. So I feel like everybody is kind of taking it down to the depths this week. There's no surface chatter this week. I mean, Aquarius loves deep conversation anyway. Deep conversation is something that we do for fun, you know, so when everyone else is like, oh, you know, we need to have a deep and meaningful, Aquarius is like, cool, yeah, wicked, you know, I'm on board. But your Judgment card, you know, all jokes aside, it takes you in very deep. This week you could be gaining some sort of insight when you start to really pick apart what it is that you're letting go of, or the reason that you're letting it go. This could see you having some really deep conversations with possibly an earth sign female, but this could see you really going into the depths of things and talking about stuff that maybe you haven't spoken about before. Maybe you are sharing things that people haven't necessarily been privy to this week. This week it does look like you could be allowing people a deeper glimpse into you, into your mind, into your psyche, into your heart than you have in a long while. Yes, we Aquarians have a heart. If you're a cross watcher, screw you. No, I love you really, but Aquarius are not heartless, soulless monsters. We're able, think about the motif, right? We're a water bearer, so we carry the emotions of the entire world on our backs, but we understand the need to separate ourselves from it. And when you look at it as a motif, right, we hold the emotions, we don't necessarily get in the barrel and start swimming around with everybody else. And that rational detachment is how we process what we feel. So it's really important to give Aquarian people time to process their emotions. How they think, how they feel are very often closely linked. Like for some people those things are separate, but they're not for Aquarius. They're kind of one in the same. How we think and how we feel are kind of intertwined. It's really difficult for us to kind of pull the two apart. Which is why we can come across as sort of, you know, cold and emotionless, because we are very rational, clear sort of minded thinkers. This week you could be letting people in Aquarius. So if you are an Aquarius or you have a heavy emphasis on Aquarian energy, this is a week for you to really reveal a lot about yourself and share stuff with people. It's going to give them a different insight into who you are, and it may even lessen the impact of some of the stuff that's been flying around you, you know, up until recently, which for some of you, when it comes to work or when it comes to your, you know, outlook in your professional life, may have come under scrutiny or fire. Maybe even the way that you view yourself has come under fire. For your money and materials, you have the Queen of Swords, right? So look at this. That's two queens now right underneath each other, the Queen of Air and the Queen of Earth. Now for your money and materials this week, it does look like you are having to, the finances could be rocky this week. I'm just going to put it really clearly. Your finances could be what's the word? Your finances could be rocky this week. Your finances could be a bit of a challenge. It may very well see you having to pay attention to where you're bleeding money, or maybe you're having to revise the budget this week, mate. Because the thing is, the Queen of Swords is a very rational energy, right? So this whole thing that I was just talking about here, this could be a week where you balance the finances, but it's going to really require you to get harsh and start speaking things the way that they are when it comes to your money, when it comes to your materials. Here as well, you've got the Judgment card with the Queen of Swords. You could be learning something about, especially those of you that are partnered, you could be learning something about the finances this week that makes you not necessarily angry, but that makes you kind of like, you know, I wish you told me before. One thing that doesn't work for Aquarians: don't withhold information, because if they find it out at a later date and they find out you lied to them, ooh, you ain't ever getting that trust back. So just something for you to consider. Two queens as well. When you see two queens in a reading, it actually means sincere friendship. So this could be a week where you're having a really deep conversation with a friend, with, you know, somebody that's a confidant, somebody that just really seems to get you and understand you. You could be having some really deep talks this week, and if it is with a woman of an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, or an earth sign, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, this is somebody that you can truly trust, somebody that your trust and your faith is well placed in. All right, for your love and relations, you have the Three of Cups. This is gorgeous. So for those of you that are single, this looks really nice, but what I will say to you is, I'm sorry to say it, it's come up for a lot of people. It's a Venus retrograde. What do you want? Right? Do expect to have some sort of contact, some sort of conversation with somebody that you might have dated, somebody that you were maybe with for a long time. In fact, whether you're single or taken, all Aquarians are probably going to feel that energy in some respect, but probably most likely the single ones. For those of you that are partnered, this is a totally different energy, right? This sees a lot of laughter, a lot of joy. You guys could be having some really extreme banter this week as well. You might find, like, you say things to each other and you're like, oh gosh, almost like you're shocked at what you say to your partner and what they say to you, and then you just fall around laughing because it's hysterically funny. You know, and it really will be that this week. You could be having banter that's really close to the bone, but you're able to go there and it's able to just be fun rather than like a personal attack. You know, I feel personally attacked. I feel very attacked right now. If you know, then you know, and that's just really funny. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting week for you guys, for us guys. I'm definitely intrigued to see where it goes and who pops up, so we shall see. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.